What's going on, world? It's your boy Damon Golden. Welcome back to the Goddamn Podcast. Super duper excited about what we got going on today. Before we get started, number one, first thing I want you guys to do is like, subscribe, make sure that if you can share the content as well. That'd be very helpful. But yeah, man, make sure you like, subscribe, send this to your auntie, send it to your little cousin, send it to your nephew, you know what I'm saying, whomever, you know what I'm saying, you feel like could be impacted by this conversation. We're gonna have a really dope combo today, and I'm just excited to get to it. So we have here someone that I've known for years now. I would probably say almost close to a decade, you know what I'm saying. Actually, fun fact, when I was still doing music, he was also into music as well. He was, or is still, a phenomenal drummer. And he actually, played a couple concerts with me, man. So that's super dope. And he is an amazing individual. I'm gonna let him tell a little bit more about himself. But from what I could tell, he's an awesome grandson, son, he's a father, he's a husband, and just an all-around dope individual, entrepreneur. We're gonna get into that for sure. But it's my homie Ronny. I'm gonna let him, kind of expound on what he does and who he is a little bit more. But I'm super excited to have you, bro. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
I know you super busy.
Oh no, man. I make time for this, man. I make time to talk to you, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So man. My name is Ronny Morrell, man, from Marion, Indiana, and I'm just a entrepreneur, man. Just starting on business, and I'm really all about teaching the Black community about being entrepreneurs and starting businesses. This is a space for us.
Yeah,
and that's a space we need to own. So I'm all about educating everybody and sharing my journey as I go along. So
that's what's up, man.
About, man. Yeah, that's
what's up, man. So just a little bit. We actually met. While you were you still in high school at the time?
I might have been just a freshman at Indiana Wesleyan. When
okay.
We first met.
Yep. So I went to Indiana Wesleyan University, and I think in my second year or my first year, I can't remember. Me and him met. I feel like it was my second year though.
Yeah, probably.
It was probably my second year. I'm old, man, so you gotta forgive me. But nah, man, we met, we linked up, and I could tell even back then, man, that you were positioned to do something really dope, to do something really special. I didn't know what it was, but I feel like certain times you meet people, you just know like, oh, this person is gonna be successful at whatever it is that they put their mind to, and I got those vibes even back then. I thought it was gonna be like 100% like drums, but. Yeah. Talk about that, man. Talk about that beginning, that start, as far as like the music part, like
right. Yeah, man. So like most people, I grew up in church, playing drums, and that's what I thought I was gonna do my whole life. So I was pursuing, and I studied it in school. And I played with Damon. I was doing the hip hop scene, I was doing the church scene, I was doing jazz scene. Yeah, I was on all these scenes, And man, just one day, man, just recently, I'm like, man, this ain't. I got a family, I got a wife and a kid. These late nights and making a couple $100 here and there, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't the life I'm trying to live.
Right.
I ain't trying to be gone 8-9 days and come home like, oh, I only got $200.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like this, I just realized, man, this ain't the life I'm trying to live. I'm trying to, I got a wife and a kid. I want to be at home at night. I want to, I'm saying, I want to see him. I want to go to put her to bed or something like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
no, that makes perfect sense.
It's one of lives, man, that it ain't for everybody, and I thought it was for me, and I realized after I had a kid, like, man, this ain't it.
It's not it, huh?
Yeah, it ain't it.
That's what. That
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit more about your daughter, right? She is
man. So her Olivia, man. She's 16 months, man. I tell everybody, it's an old one. She's a gremlin. You know what I'm saying? She's one of those. You know what I'm saying? She's 100% gremlin, but I love her to death, man. She's a strong-willed girl, and I'm trying to raise her that way. You know what I mean? So she trying to bring her up in this entrepreneur spirit as well, man. Like teach her, that here's a tip I was talking to a cat I really look up to. he was saying instead of making your kids do chores, it's a new age thing because I grew up in an old school house. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all the chores. You feel what I'm saying? So like she was like, instead of making your kids do chores, pay them to read books and pay them to develop business plans. So I'm like, oh, I mean that's a new vibe. It's a new age kind of thing.
For sure.
What I mean? So I'm like, man, that's something I might try out. You know what I mean? It may work. But them chores things, it's still you feel what I'm saying?
No, that's interesting because I had a conversation with a friend not too long ago. We were talking about our parents, the people who raised us, because we all have similar, what I'm saying? I grew up in the church as well, you know what I mean? We grew up in the church, but I think in retrospect, obviously, like hindsight is 20/20. So you can critique anything after you've been through it. You know what I'm saying? That's very easy to do. And I kind of touched on this on my first podcast, first episode, but I feel like we weren't. I feel like there's a lot of things that could have been done a little bit better in our upbringing, but I don't feel like they were done maliciously. I don't think that things were done in a mean-spirited way. You know what I'm saying? And so anyways, you're bringing up this new way of, kind of, cultivating this leadership in your daughter. I talked to a friend about the discipline aspect of that. And, so the way I grew up, you do something wrong, you got to whoop.
Whooping.
You know what I mean?
Hey, no questions asked. You know what's going down.
Stop. Don't say yes, sir. No, don't do that, man. I'm going to tell you why. Because my grandma would save him from all the whoopings.
Oh, he wasn't getting
He wasn't getting
Hey, don't let this man lie to you. That's only when grandma was around. And grandma wasn't around like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, he got saved all the time.
Yeah.
I got more whoopings than you ever got.
I don't know if you got more whoopings than me, bro.
For sure, bro.
There's no way.
I was the hellion of the family. Come on.
That's true. You were definitely on one. That's facts. But I don't know if you necessarily got more than me. Anywho, my buddy was saying, he was like, yo, he said, instead of, whooping kids, he said, my kids, he said, what I do is, I try to figure out what it is that they like the most, you know what I'm saying? And, I end up, taking it away from them, you know what I'm saying? And making them earn it back. He actually read this excerpt from this book from this woman who, her son wasn't cleaning his room. Kept asking him to clean his room, wasn't cleaning the room. And, essentially she sold his Xbox.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? Like sold it to a kid down the street who wanted one or whatever. And in order for her child to get the Xbox back, he had to
do that.
He had to work, you know what I'm saying, like do extra chores around the house, whatever. And essentially, you know what I'm saying, she ended up paying. He had saved up enough money to get the Xbox, and I'm like, yo, that never happened to me. Like if I did something, if my mama told me to do something and I didn't do it, I just got smacked. You know what I'm saying? And that was but that was it. There was no follow through. We didn't really have no conversation about, hey, this is why.
Right.
We as black people, we like to laugh at that, but that that's important to have those conversations. You got both?
Yeah, I got both. I got the whoopings and I got the stuff taken away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But did you get the conversations? Hey, this is why.
No, wasn't
no review to play at the end.
For what? You already knew what was going on.
I guess it's all about evolution. You know what I'm saying? We can't. I mean, we got to see what people did before us and try to learn. But my daughter's only 16 months now. She's starting to get to that age where I'm thinking like, yo, it's time to get a whooping. And my wife is like, no, we ain't whooping her. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So now it's that tension of
I'm not trying to beat kids up, but what I will do, especially if it's something that's dangerous, like where I live, I live on somewhat of a busy street, and my driveway connects to that busy street, and so there was a time where my youngest, something happened, a ball went out to the street, and she ran towards it, and so obviously we called her or whatever, but this wasn't the first time that something like that had happened. She knew. Because that's the other thing. We gotta give kids more credit than what we give
smart.
them. Like,
they're smart.
So
they knew what they're doing.
She was aware, and so I got her legs. You know what I'm saying? I tapped on her legs. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, I do attempt to try different ways to discipline my kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But listen, we not taking shots at the people who raised us. We love y'all.
No, we love
Thank
you.
you. You know what I'm saying?
We turned out great.
But we turned out amazing. But you're right. The evolution piece is.
Yeah, man.
I'm still scarred.
You're still scarred.
Yeah, you still.
You want to talk about it?
Nah, it's cool.
Hey, so that meme he sent me a meme today, and essentially, what did it say?
It said, why do men start podcasts instead of going to therapy? And somebody quote tweeted it and said the same reason why women start OnlyFans instead of going to work.
Real talk though. This is therapy, man. Like,
yeah.
Like this is like, man, yeah. So this is therapy for us. Yeah.
So over the summer, COVID had hit or whatever, and over the summer we would hang out in Damon's garage, and that was like probably the most therapeutic experience I ever had. Just kind of getting together with the guys and just talking.
Yeah. I mean, it's important, like, because there's not a lot of therapists that look like us and come from situations that's similar to us.
Exactly.
So being able to get into a group of like-minded people, I mean, like, that's one of the best therapeutic things ever.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
And just talking, just like having a conversation. Sometimes just getting, and that's why you see a lot of people like vent on Facebook, putting a lot of personal business out there in social media.
Right, yeah.
And, people say, man, why would you do that? They just want it. Like, it's something about getting it off your mind, off your chest, whether you're typing it, writing it, or speaking it. There's something about releasing that thing from inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to the business piece, man. What drove you to want to get into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, everybody in my family does is some kind of entrepreneur, man.
It's true. Yeah, your whole family is
so I mean, it's like it's in my blood, so they always kind of push me this way. I'll tell you what happened though. So my pops did it to me when I was probably like 16 or 17. And when you're in high school, I need $50 a week, $20 a week. The Jordans come out, I need $200 a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So like one day I came to my dad like, I need $50. He's like, man, I don't know what you're gonna do. You got to get it. So I'm like, man, I got to figure something out. So I'm at school the whole next day racking my brain, and I come home, and he bought me like a lawnmower, a weed eater, and a blower, right? So I think all the total is like $450 worth of expenses. But from that though, he ain't never give me no money since then. I'm 27 now, and he created a lane for me.
Yeah,
and I ain't never had to ask him for a dime since.
That's dope.
So ever since I found that out, man, like I'm like, man, this is the where it's at.
Yeah, and
we need to try to push a lot of other, young African Americans into this space.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. I have a similar story, except for, it involved the work. You know what I mean? Like I wanted stuff too, and I've always ever seen my mom working, and so I got a job pretty early. My first job was Finish Line, which probably wasn't the best.
Yeah, because you was cashing out
like I was just giving them my check back. Like, hey, let me get them. That 30% go a long way.
Yeah,
and so, but no, man, I had a job early on, and I've never not ever had a job.
Right.
And then, eventually, I also, got bit by the entrepreneurial bug a little bit. Well, maybe it was probably the creative bug first, and then it turned into a business. You know what I'm saying? More so than anything. But even before the photography thing, selling CDs, you know what I'm saying? Doing music and selling CDs was a huge piece.
You got to be a hustler to do music, man. Otherwise you ain't gonna make it. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta be a hustler.
This is true.
I mean, like even like, man, with this hoodie I'm wearing today, it has like rapper and athlete crossed out, and it says entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Especially coming from small cities, man. People think that the only way you can make it is one of these two avenues.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to show everybody that you can be a young black man successful. And you can start your own business. I mean, like it's crazy stuff that happens, man. Like, or a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? That's the only options we got.
So I was telling somebody the other day. They was like, they asked me when I first voted. I said I first voted Obama's first term in 2008. That was when I was a freshman on a college campus. And I told him, I said, I'll be honest with you, I voted for him because he was black.
100%.
And I said, but more so than that, I said prior to him, you would be hard pressed to name an African American male known for anything other than entertainment.
Hey, that's 100%.
I mean,
man.
after you go MLK, Martin Luther King, it's like, where do we go? Like, where do we go?
All we got is hoopers and actors and rappers.
And so I was like, yo, if nothing else, this vote went to showing somebody that looks like me that you could be, you know what I'm saying, the president of the United States.
So, I mean, this the other day, man, somebody, so I'm from Marion, I don't know if I said that or not, but somebody messaged me on Facebook like, oh, man, like, what you doing, selling cocaine? I'm like, wait a minute, man. Like, so you got all these people, all like white people and other people that got nice stuff around you. So around the city, you see me with something nice, and I got to be selling drugs.
Right. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that's that narrative that I'm trying to switch in everybody's mind. Yeah. It's like, man, no, we can be young, black, successful, and have everything that anybody else has without and getting it real.
Yeah, you do got 26s on your truck though.
I mean, hey, that's the thing. Hey, so I could go get a 2021 truck and put 26s on that thing, and I ain't never touched no drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, but so, no, I'm just joking with you.
Hey, but that's the thing though. It's like, so if it would have been a young, I mean, I only have to say if it would have been a young white dude with some 26s on a brand new truck, they wouldn't have said.
They would not have suspected.
No, they wouldn't have said that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that thing. Like, you know, we can be more than those three options. We can be more than the rapper, athlete, and the drug dealer. You know, we can own properties, businesses, and real estate. You know,
I can dig it, man. Do you attribute it mostly to the way you were brought up? Because also in high school, I had my own lawn care business. Oh, you remember that?
Yeah.
I had my own.
I drove you around a lot.
You did, my man. Had my own lawn care business, and I also worked 3 jobs. Mm-hmm. So, but I always, in my mind, I always said I don't want to work for other people. Like, I actually hate having to go in and punch the clock and work for somebody else. Like, I would rather be working for myself, which is why I did the lawn care thing.
Yep.
Do you think it was like you attribute that to like something you saw when you came up, or the way you were raised? Like, what do you think? Because you alluded to it being in your blood. So,
man, like my family put like an immense amount of pressure on me, man. Like, even like to this day, my grandpa say like my last name Morrell. He said Morrells don't rent. We buy everything. He just like ingrained that kind of stuff in my mind. Morrells don't rent. We buy. We own. So even at the time he told me this, I ain't had no bread, so I'm trying to rent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he was still like kind of cultivating that idea in my mind. So at the time, I'm like, man, this is unfair pressure. Now I just got married. I don't got no money. I'm trying to rent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's unfair pressure. So even though I was renting for a while, it eventually morphed into like, man, I got to get out of this situation. So I'm pushing myself to become, owner and own stuff, and like the lender and not the borrower to get to that biblical area. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but I feel like, man, more young black kids need to see this as possible. Because I work with youth right now, man, and a lot of them thinking like, I was talking to a young man the other day, and he said he's only 13, and he's thinking about, my mama couldn't pay the water bill the other day, so I don't know if I'm gonna go home and take a shower. You shouldn't be thinking about that at 13. You know what I'm saying? Right. You should be like being able to, play video games or something, have fun. Right. So it's like it's the environment that a lot of African Americans are coming from that is not allowing us to be creative and be entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So tell us a little bit about your first, I guess, dip into the entrepreneurial pool. Like, what was the business?
My first dip was the lawn care.
Okay.
And then so that was the first thing. I ran that from 17 to about 22, and I was making money on it, man. Just hustling in the summer, and I ain't never had no job.
You worked that during college too?
Yep. Okay. So that's what I was doing. I never had another job, and then so after I graduated school, I got married, and that pressure like, I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? So I went and got a job. Worked at a church, worked at a factory. I did a lot of different random stuff, and then just early this year, in the middle of COVID, I'm like, you know what? I ain't working for nobody. This is it. I told my wife, like, it's either gonna be sink or swim. You feel what I'm saying? We either gonna eat or we gonna starve. That's the only two options we got. Because I ain't doing this no more. I can't show up and be like sit and work for somebody else and make them all this bread, and I'm sitting here coming home with some change,
some pennies. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? This is not for me, and I'm unhappy. So I told her, I'm like, yo, you can work if you want to, but at this day I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And then so I started in 2019. I started a e-scooter business. So like, if you ever been to like Indianapolis or something like that, you seen like the bird scooters line.
Yep.
Little scooters that you pay to
rent. Download the app.
You can drive them around. Yeah.
Shout out. So the name of the business is Morrell Scooters, right? So what I did is I seen that model in the big cities. I'm like, man, I can do that in small cities.
Yeah.
So what I did, I launched it in Marion, and then it took off. Launched it in Gas City and Wabash. Now I'm launching in Upland where Taylor is.
Yeah.
And I'll be launching in Warsaw this coming up year. So it's like I took this same model that was for the big cities and crunched it down and able to produce it for small cities. And so it was a risk because everybody's like, you know how people do it in the small communities, like, oh, that ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
That ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's big city, especially you. That ain't gonna work. So I said, even a more crazy story, man. I told my wife we had a little bit of bread saved up. We only been married for 2 years at the time, and I'm like, I'm taking all this money and I'm spending it. And you know, I mean, come on, you tell your wife that, she like,
yeah. What?
All the money we have, I'm spending it tomorrow.
All the what?
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
Oh, who money?
What I'm saying is, I'm talking about like look at the bank account the next day, that mug was zero flat.
Wow.
I said, I'm taking all the money we got and spending it. She was like, she ain't say nothing for a while. I'm like, okay, I don't know what she gonna say. Cause I mean, I've been mustering up this conversation all day in my head. Like, how I'm gonna have the courage to say this to this woman I'm supposed to be providing for?
Yep.
That tomorrow I got a vision. I'm gonna spend every dime we got.
And it's so important because they like the security. You know what I mean? The security is huge.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it is huge. Like, you know,
yeah,
dudes be different. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make something shake. You know what I'm
Figure it
saying?
out
Like,
on the back end.
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna make something shake right now, and
yep.
if it don't work, we could try again or start over. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I told her I'm spending all the bread, you know. And she was like, eventually she said, okay, go for it. Spent all the bread, bought the scooters I needed. So long story short, man, started with 6 scooters in one city, and now I'm at 50 scooters across 5 cities.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, and being able to sustain and make money, man. Like, I tell this story, I ain't the same because I grew up in church and I always tell what God done for me. I ain't gonna hold it back. People don't like it, that's on them. So like, I was in full-time ministry, work a whole year. I'm talking about a whole year, right? Make $17 an hour, which I think was equivalent to like $36,000 a year. Hit you with the taxes, now you're only getting 26, 27.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, like, I got a wife and kid and a mortgage. I mean, I can't live off that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I quit my job. This is no lie. It was testament to God. Only God can do this, right? I quit the job I was on. The next month, I did $27,000 in 1 month.
Wow.
1 month, bro. And my wife believed in me. So it's a combination, bro. Like, God gave me a woman that 100% believed in me. So now it's like, after this next year, I hope it's looking like she never had to work.
Wow.
Because she believed in me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't instant success. Like, we was broke for real. Like, I spent all the money we had, and it was like, we have to go to Aldi's and get some of those. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, entrepreneurship, man, it's about risk, man. I just want to do this so like other black kids, men, boys and girls, you know, can see that we can do this. You know what I mean? Because like in the city, Marion is similar to Anderson. Anderson a little bit bigger, got a little more stuff, right? But when you think about your city and name 5, 6 black entrepreneurs, you know, that own businesses. It's hard, right?
It's very hard.
That's what I'm saying. So now name 5 or 6 white men, you know, own businesses. That's easy.
Very easy.
But that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
Like we can do this. You know, we can own stuff. You know what I'm saying? We can own apartment complexes instead of living in the apartment complex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're right. It takes that risk. Like you got to be able to roll the dice. Like, and you know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you might lose.
But the crazy thing is, it's not like this is necessarily like new information. Like everyone who is mad successful
took a risk
at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody took a risk. I mean, you know, I'm hearkening back to the Jeff Bezos story. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the vision that he had, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it morphed into something even greater than what it was initially. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so
he run the world right now. You order something today, that mug be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like that's insane.
That's crazy. And you know what? I had a thought about Amazon today. I was like, man, you know, during that pandemic, because, you know, people always tell people who got money what they should do with their money.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just had the thought, I was like, he probably could have dropped off food to everybody and it not been like an issue.
Right.
Like he literally probably could have dropped off. Let's not say everybody. Let's just say anybody who makes under $100,000 a year, he probably could have dropped off
steaks,
a month's worth of groceries in the middle of COVID, and it would not have hurt him whatsoever.
He wouldn't even know it was gone. He wouldn't know the bread was gone. Have you seen the thing going around where he got this grocery store that as soon as you put the food in the cart, it's
bro, innovation, bro. Bro, we were talking about
he gonna kill Walmart now.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's been over though for Walmart.
Yeah.
I had this conversation today at work, bro. I was telling my coworkers, I said, man, because I was reading this article. Essentially, I don't know if you guys know this, but people are there's this whole initiative to like what do you like break up Facebook or like to somehow punish Facebook because of. And what I think, I interpret it as because they're really good at what they do. Yeah. What it is the complaint is there's been a lot of fake news articles. There's been a lot of misinformation that has been spread on Facebook. And they're like, it's having an effect on how people, view things, how they vote, all this other good stuff, right? And so I was reading this and I'm waiting to figure out what did Facebook do wrong. And I'm looking, I'm like, well, they're not producing any of the articles.
Nope.
What they are doing though is they're making sure that if you lean one way, they're showing you information,
everything you want to see,
that you like. If you lean another way, they're showing you that information, and so people are legit upset with Facebook, like they're they're doing something wrong. I said, no, man, bro, they're super efficient. Like what? They're not making these articles. They're not necessarily publishing these articles. Like people are coming here for a reason because they like the experience, and it's super duper crazy to me that we are expecting the government to step in and essentially what I'm saying, hinder Facebook from doing what they've been doing.
Have you watched Social Dilemma on Netflix?
Yes, I started it, having not yet finished it, but
crazy!
What I've seen so
crazy,
far,
right? So the thing is, Facebook is just a computer algorithm. It's not going to do nothing unless you tell it to do it. So it's only showing you what you actually want to see.
Yeah.
So Facebook ain't doing nothing. You doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I got rid of it. Yeah. That's why I got rid of it, because you gonna spend too much time. It's a rabbit hole. That's all it is.
And that's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you start getting them random notifications. So and so commented on someone. You don't even care, but they want you to go look. You feel what I'm saying? So they controlling your. It's like mental real estate.
Yeah.
So owning a space in somebody's mind all the time.
But I made the argument to my buddy. I was like, man, but this is not new. I said it's efficient. It's probably more efficient, but this is not new. And how do we know that this is not new? You can harken back to, the 30s, the 40s, when, or even the 20s, when black men were like, I'm gonna get this conch in my hair. I'm gonna straighten my hair. Let me get rid of the afro. Let me get rid of, the natural fro that I got. Let me put this relaxer or whatever in my hair. So you got the Cab Callaways, you got other guys, that Zoot
Duke Ellington,
the Duke Ellington, the Zoot Suit eras, and they're doing this, you know what I'm saying? All the, you go back to the Temptations and all these guys are doing that. Why? Because their minds were conditioned to think that this was more acceptable than what their natural was. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff has always been happening. Right. It's just a lot more efficient. The brainwashing or whatever has always existed. It's just a tad bit more efficient today than it was, you know what I'm saying, however many, years ago. I just felt like it was super wrong for people to feel like Facebook need to be reprimanded for doing a good job at what they're doing. That's just like saying, we need to punish Walmart for killing the mom and pop grocery stores that once existed.
Or you gonna punish McDonald's because they sell you hamburgers that ain't
That's
good for
the
you.
other thing, bro.
Like,
listen, nobody told you to pull up.
Yeah, you went to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody told you to pull up. And listen, I got a personal testimony. I've been fighting McDonald's for the past 3 weeks, my G. Listen, past 3 weeks, I've been going to work. And I'm like, I got a little bit extra time. Like, y'all can slide and get this biscuit.
Right.
With the jelly.
With the cheese,
with
too?
the jelly and the cheese.
McGriddle.
Man, I was like,
McGriddle's different.
But I've been abstaining, man. I've been doing pretty good, man.
Good
I ain't been messing with bread. I haven't been, man. I'm just trying to do better. Because at the end of the day, you're right. Like, nobody put a gun to nobody's head and said, "Hey, go get this McDonald's." Like,
that's fact,
so I just think that it sucks that people are trying to attack a company for being really dope.
Right.
What obstacles have you faced in entrepreneurship thus far?
People don't listen to you, man, until you start making noise. So when I first started this business that I'm on right now, everybody was like, the cities that I was trying to get involved in, they was like, the lenders, the banks was like, we ain't give you no money. Any investors like, we don't want to give you no money. So that's why I had to spend all my own bread.
Yeah.
Right. So now I grew it all by myself. Now people are like, oh man, let me get a piece of that. So the biggest obstacle I think is, man, like until you get started, nobody's gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
So that can be a big hurdle for people to jump, because I call people idea entrepreneurs, right? Everybody got an idea every 5 minutes. Like, oh man, it's a good idea, and then he's like, oh, go execute it. They'll never do it. Then they come at you with another idea the next day. You know what I'm saying? So like we gotta learn how to
right.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to you gotta learn how to transition these ideas to reality. You know what I mean? Because other than that, I mean, you just an idealist. You feel what I'm saying? So the biggest thing, man, is just like getting that foot and jumping. And sometimes I think Will Smith got a famous thing. He talked about jumping out that airplane. Yeah. It's like I mean, everything. It's all the way up, and you thinking about everything that can go wrong until you actually jump. And then when you jump, we out here. Yeah. Now I mean, now we gotta survive. Now we're gonna make sure this parachute open and all that kind of stuff. So man, the biggest obstacle I faced was taking that first step. Once that was done, it was like, man.
Did you kind of feel like you said earlier, it was like sink or swim? So you kind of felt like you had no choice at this point.
No choice. Every time you give yourself an outlet, exit plan or a plan B, you gonna most of the time go to plan B. You feel what I'm saying?
Because it's safer.
Yeah, because it's safer. Okay. You know what I mean? Like you always, it's more like he said earlier, like that stability, that reliability, whatever. If you got something to lean on, you always gonna be there. I mean, why would I make myself uncomfortable? I mean, it's human nature to want to be comfortable.
Right.
So why would I make myself uncomfortable on purpose? You feel what I'm saying? So like,
yeah. I would say he tried to take a little jab, which is fine. It's cool. I've definitely had a ton of ideas for sure. And he alluded to, even us going into business together, like a restaurant / brewery. Mm-hmm. That's something that I would love to do, man. But I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It is a daunting reality. Like I see other business. So I got a friend who owns a bar. Mm-hmm. That's where he's at.
Yeah,
like, he does not leave, bro.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That is not him being able to, you know what I'm saying, say this is mine. And
right. Yeah.
That's cool.
Right.
But bro, like, I leave my 9 to 5.
And it's over. Yeah.
And it's over. Like right. You can't call me. You can't. There's nothing you can. Right. Weekends come. I'm by myself. Right, yeah. I ain't got to check in. Like you ain't. There's nothing going on, bro. Right. There's something about it. And then I'm a teacher, so I get summers off.
Yeah.
What? And the account's still getting tapped every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Huh? And you want me to go and. And so I understand, you know what I'm saying, all that it takes, man, when you say you're about to go into business, you're about to do something, especially, and I know restaurants are a little bit different, you know what I'm saying, but I see you on Facebook, bro, you got to pick up scooters that get left in random places. If they break down, you got to pick them up. Like,
so it's systems, man. This earlier this year was my first year really just banging like that. So now I wasn't prepared for what was happening. So I didn't have the systems in place. So now that means I'm the business owner. I'm the CEO. I'm the janitor. I'm the maintenance man. You know what I'm saying? I'm everything. I'm the accountant. So now going into this next year, I got systems into place. So now, I don't know if you ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad. You heard of that book?
Yeah, heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they got that 4 quadrants, right? You got the employee, you got the self-employed person, you got the business owner, and you got the investor. So last year I was self-employed. Like I mean, the business owned me. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Now this next year I'm going to transition into business owner, where I got put systems into place where now I can sit at home and chill. Maybe I have to come out if I need to or solve an issue, but that's what it is, man. Like you have to start developing systems to where you can give yourself a break. Otherwise, some days, man, my wife can testify to this. I was working literally 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. You feel what I'm saying? Trying to make it crack, and that's just what it took for a few months. But now you start developing a system.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So is this the end all be all? You got some other things cooking too?
Yeah, man. So my end goal is to get into real estate, man. Like I don't know, I'm a big fan of Monopoly, the game, right?
Oh, we gotta play.
Oh yeah, hey man.
Yo, all right. So the next episode, we just gonna point the table out and we'll play. So
hey, that'd be dope.
And we'll just play. We'll hook the mics up and everybody. Listen, bro.
Yeah. I don't lose that much though. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So I want to keep things civil, you know?
No. Oh, you thought you was gonna win?
Yeah. Oh, I really know what I'm saying. I don't lose. Like, yeah. So getting into real estate, man, that's my biggest thing. So I was finally able to buy my first investment property this year, and it was a commercial purchase. So like I hear people say, man, like and I see it to be true. The quickest way to build wealth and the most tried and true way to build wealth is through real estate.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you have to have Like, because when I die, my daughter can get that. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now if I'm able to get 50 properties and I die, my daughter's going to get that immediately. So, I mean, she'll, my idea, man, I told my wife this the other day, it's super controversial, but I think it can work, is I want my daughter to only work for herself from the very beginning. It's a big idea. I told her that I feel like I'm going to fail if she ever has to work for somebody else. I want her to see her dad as an example. Like, you can go out there and get this, and you don't got to answer to nobody. But I mean, I guess you got to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
But I want her to see that this is possible. You know what I mean? I want that example for everybody. So man, real estate, man, that's my really my end goal. Because I mean, like, who knows how long e-scooter is gonna pop, you know what I'm saying? But real estate, everybody gotta have somewhere to live, no matter how bad.
Oh yeah, you gotta have something.
Yeah,
gotta have a structure.
And that's one thing I was gonna say, was to challenge kind of what he was thinking as far as like a 9 to 5. You know, once you leave here, that's part of your legacy. You're able to pass that on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you have real estate or whatever, your business, whatever. So I've always thought about that as well. Mm-hmm. It's just being able to pass something on to the next generation, because I feel like, especially as black men, that's not something that we've always been privy to. It's getting something given to us by the people before us.
Yeah.
So I feel like before I leave this earth, I have to, you know what I'm saying, have something to leave behind. Like, I actually just went and started paying on a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
Just because, one, the world is crazy, but two, it's like, if something happened to me, I need my family to have a little something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there ain't no reason everybody should have a life insurance policy. It's
Really?
like, what, $15 a month or something like that? You know what I mean? We should
I
all
wish
have.
it's about 40.
40? I mean, okay, even 40, you know what I'm saying? Everybody should have that.
Yeah, man.
And so, like, I mean, even so, I mean, I'm not like this is no 9 to 5, because I still, like, even now I still got like it's not a 9 to 5, but I got a job that, you know, I got a salary coming in.
Yeah.
But it's a job where I can control my schedule. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of entrepreneurs fail because they're like, oh, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna get it, and then they quit their job. They ain't got no money coming in, and their business don't take off.
Yeah.
So you got, I mean, so it's like it's a transitioning period. So my goal is probably in the next year. So I'm not working no more jobs, but you got to have that goal. You feel what I'm saying? Some people just like, oh man, I got an idea, quit my job. Now I'm back home with my mom. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, you gotta have a vision, man. Yeah,
that's what's up, man. So let me ask you this, man. Another thing that I kind of alluded to in the intro, but me and you both attended a PWI.
Yes, sir.
Which is a predominantly white institution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That being Indiana Wesleyan University. Give me an overview, a synopsis of your experience there.
So keep.
Before you go, was Ronny there? Ronny, the cook, black guy,
Yes.
dark skin.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
He was there in the cafeteria.
And sometimes he be working like
In
where
the Chick-fil-A area,
where
too.
the Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
area
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Oh yeah, me and my wife. Listen,
Pause. Y'all had Chick-fil-A?
that was after I left.
Oh, okay.
He was there for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I was there for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
They inducted the owner or the creator of Chick-fil-A into the World Changers
Yes, sir.
Hall of Fame or whatever. Like, there's like a Hall of.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
It's a World Changers. I think it's called World Changers.
Yeah, World Changers. Yeah, they inducted him or whatever. But I was gone. They knew not to. Hey, listen, that's how me and the wife linked up, low key. She gave me, because you know she's small. She ain't out here eating. She got this. She
not out here eating.
What? That's how me and the wife linked up. She not taking full advantage of the meal plan. I'm like, I said, listen, Kristen, you can't don't give them money. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened was she had lost her card, and then she had got another one, but she ended up finding the old one. So she gave me the old one. She was like, yeah. And this is like late February, early March. So we got like a month and a half left of school. And she's like, yeah, I have, a crazy amount of meals left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, we're not about to give them this money.
Yeah.
No, hey, look, I came up one time and she played me. That's when I had the foot long hot dogs in the joint. Yeah.
Oh, swipes on deck, baby.
Man,
Swipes
all
on
weekend
deck.
I was
family
going crazy. Everybody eats me.
Everyone eats B. Hey, people eat every day, B.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so I want to shout him out because he made the best breakfast burritos. Man.
Yeah.
fire. And you walk up to him because everybody's trying to get this. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Hey, what do you need? This black guy, only black guy in there.
Yeah,
cool, man. Cool. Sometimes he would talk. Hey, Damon, how you doing, buddy? He had a real high pitch. You know what I'm saying? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Right,
so,
yeah.
But anyways, tell us about your experience at a PWI.
So, man, all the way 100, man. It wasn't as bad as most people have experienced in Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, man. So I see something, I'm like, man, I'm about to capitalize on this. So at this time, so now they got a football team, and it's a whole bunch of us everywhere. You feel what I'm saying? But at the time,
you were there doing the football team?
No. Now they have a football team.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Yeah.
But before that, I'm a diamond in the rough.
Me too.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll tell you this, man. I had one black professor, Olakule, something like that. He was from Africa.
Don't try.
I won't try. He used to get on me too. Dear man, no, dear man. It was a history class. No, dear man, no. But anyways, I had him, and then there was a couple of classes where. Not even a couple. I probably had one class, and normally it was like a bigger one, like Bible, or something. It had to be a lot of people where there was other people of color in there. But if it was just like a concentrated class, it's just you.
Right. Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man. So everything that people say is facts. It's true. But for me, instead of getting down about it, I'm at home thinking man, I probably can win off this. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only black dude, so I'm like, I should be front and center on all this stuff. You know what I mean? I need all the scholarships. You know what I'm saying? I need the whole
clean up.
Yeah, so my experience was cool, man. I'm able to, one of my strengths is I'm able to fit in the places without giving up who I am. So I can still say I'm this strong black man, but I know how to navigate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now Indiana Wesleyan is actually one of my strongest supporters on my business. So they let me launch a run on campus. So shout out Indiana Wesleyan on that tip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so even out of all the struggles I had in Indiana Wesleyan, which is the same thing that every other black person had, I'm like, okay, I'm going to capitalize off this. So now they're my number one supporter, and I got exclusive rights to run my business on their campus.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I could have done, I could have got mad.
Yep.
And did the whole thing no, I'm a chill.
Yeah.
But how? Now let me get this deal.
Yep. Nah. So that's you run into people like that who are rebels with, I think, a good cause.
Right.
But everything that is good is not necessarily right at that time.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? You got this anger built up because they did you wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I memean? Or, you had a horrible experience. But maybe now is not the time to go, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go crazy. Maybe we should, you know what I mean, set back. I mean, you said in the workplace all the time. You know what I mean?
You gotta be smart with your attacks.
You gotta be smart.
Man.
You gotta be calculated, man.
Yeah,
gotta be calculated.
I guess what the generation right now, everybody is instant with the anger tip. You know what I'm saying? Which don't get me wrong. I know why we angry.
Right.
We got every right to be angry, but you gotta know how to be angry and execute in that anger. You know?
And so it almost reminds me of people got on Jay-Z heavy when he was like, okay, I understand what the kneeling is about, but now that we've knelt and people know what the issue is, what are we gonna do next?
What we gonna do?
So let's have a plan. And I think a lot of people, their plan is to be mad.
Yeah, then they stop right there,
which is cool.
But
what's next, my G? I can't just be sitting here being mad. So that's dope that you kind of leverage that.
So what they did. So I'll tell you what happened, man. What they did to me is, so if you go to Indiana Wesleyan, you look at the website, you would think all black people go there because every sign, every advertisement is every time guaranteed a black person. So one day I get on, somebody hit me up and was like, "Hey man, they got your face on the cover of the website."
I remember this. This popped off on Facebook.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Cover of the website. So I get on there, man. Sure enough, the whole Indiana Wesleyan website is me shaking the president's hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, which is, dope. I'm on the cover of the website, but it's like, wait a minute, y'all doing a false advertisement. You know what I'm saying? You're making it seem like there's 1,000 of me's here, which I'm the only one.
You it.
Yeah, I'm the only black. In my graduating class, it might have been me, black person, a couple other Hispanics and foreign people, whether they're Asian or from India or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, me, I'm bold, but I'm strategic. So I messaged the president directly, like, "Hey, man, like, what can we do about this? I mean, maybe they can run me a check."
Right. There we go. Hustler.
You know what I'm saying?
Hustler.
They can run me a check for having me on there. Which they ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? They can run me a check, or let me just come in and talk to you.
Yeah.
So I set up a meeting, man. We had a couple meetings, and then it all kept morphing into what it is today. I mean, shout out Dr. Wright. I mean, he didn't have to respond to me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he made that time and heard me talk about what it is. You know, now, like I said, they're number one supporter. But like what happens is some people will see that their face on the cover and they just explode. Cuss the university out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they ain't gonna respond to you like that.
They not.
So I mean, I was mad, I'm angry. I'm like, okay, how can I make this work for me and my family?
So yeah, it's the dichotomy or the contrast that you see with Martin and Malcolm. You know, a lot of people say, and I 100% agree, Martin was only able to get the success that he got in large part due to because Malcolm was there. Because it gave America a choice. You want to deal with Malcolm X,
right? Yeah.
Or you want to deal with Martin Luther,
right?
And so, yes, I appreciate the Malcolms of the world,
right?
But we can't be Malcolm every single time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm not trying to like make it seem like he was wrong, but I'm just saying like they clearly had two different approaches. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'd be mad. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I say this all the time too. Like, yes, Malcolm X was, at a certain point in his life was very, very critical of MLK. And one of the things, that I noticed is it's like, well, yeah, you're critical of MLK, but you stayed in Harlem. Yeah, I mean, your work was up in New York. And New York ain't Mississippi.
No, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
At that time. New York ain't Alabama.
Right.
New York ain't Georgia. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not Florida.
Right.
I'm not saying that you a punk or you soft or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is he's in the trenches. So it's easy to like critique, you know what I'm saying, when you're not, and that's often, because people, you'll notice that in entrepreneurship. Like people will look at your situation and have all these critiques.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, that's easy for you to say, but you're not here though. And that's people on both sides. There's people who are way more successful than you and people who are significantly less successful than you. It's like, but you're not here, so you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's important. I would say my experience, man, at the at Indiana Wesleyan was interesting, man. Like, like you, I have the ability to kind of morph into whatever I need to in order to survive in whatever situation I'm in. You know what I'm
That's the characteristic of a lot of black people. We gotta have
to. You have to. If you're gonna be able to survive, you got to be able to do that. But like even in high school, man, like I was very, very popular, but I didn't play a sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I just was cool. I could legit go to any lunch table. Like, emo people mess with me. Gothic kids, you know what I mean? With the black fingernails, you know what I'm saying? The huge parachute pants. I kicked it with them. One of my best friends, she was Miss Teen Indiana. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And then I had the athletes was cool with me. Preppy kids was cool with me. You know what I'm saying? Kids from the hood, obviously. I mean, like, so I was cool with everybody. Even in college, bro, I was and when I went to Vincennes, because my first 2 years I went to Vincennes, and my last 2 years I went to Indiana Wesleyan. But I was the president of the Black Student Association. I was an RA over the basketball players, you know what I'm saying? And then because I was president of the Black Student Association, I had all the fine black girls working for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all the ball players, girls that, you know what I mean? Like, they all helped me out, you know what I mean? Helped plan events and things of that nature. Kicked it with the theater kids, you know what I mean? I put on my first play, you know what I'm saying, at Vincennes. And so, yeah, man, having that ability to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, morph into whatever you need to be at that time is very, very important. But my experience at Indiana Wesleyan was pretty interesting, man. It was like, I remember, speaking of MLK, I remember being in chapel on Martin Luther King Day, and he was not mentioned. Yeah. Think about this, bro.
And the flip side of this, check this out though. So now it's Martin Luther King Day. That's the only time you can get a black speaker, gospel choir,
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So they jumped the ship the opposite way.
Yeah.
So now you could keep going with what you're saying.
But you're at a Christian university, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're at a Christian university. It's Martin Luther King Day, which is a national holiday. I'm gonna tell you why it stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we was going to class. That's why I was mad. I was like, "Yo, this is the reason why it stuck out to me." And so, like, I had to go to chapel, and I'm like, "Y'all didn't even mention him.
Nothing. Yeah,
that was like not a mention." And so, think about this. And this is how you know. And I'm not saying that this institution is racist. That's not what I'm saying. But this is how I know, or this is what confirms that race is an issue in America still. I'm trying to think to myself, can you name a more notable, like if I told you to give me top 5 Christians of all times, you're not getting out of 2 or 3 without saying Martin Luther King.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even mention Jesus because Jesus technically wasn't a Christian. You know what I mean? Like,
I could just,
But if we just typed in like Christian in Google, Christian men or whatever, like Martin Luther King comes up pretty high on the list. And so it's like saying that you're honoring basketball, but you never mention Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they ain't gonna add up.
You can't do that. You cannot do that.
But they okay with mentioning us in that though. They give us all the love for sports. That's what it's all saying, man. It's like we are more than that. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, like even like my favorite player. I'm sure you share the same thing as well. I don't know if you do. Are you a LeBron fan?
Huge LeBron fan.
So the more than the athlete movement, we can do more than that. You know what I mean? We can do way more than that. So like we need to be acknowledged for all that kind of stuff, man.
And because he, LeBron, I guess. Challenge the status quo. A lot of people don't like it.
Mad at him.
The fact that he put his homies on.
Yep. Man, he was like, be mad at that?
How you gonna be mad at him putting his homies on, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, that's something that I feel like, it's not new. You know what I mean? People are gonna hate regardless. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I think that it's dope that, you know what I mean? People like yourself are able to kind of ignore that, you know what I'm saying, and keep going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to push through it, man. Like, and one of the crazy things about it is coming from a small city. So I had a chance to connect with some cats from Atlanta, and Atlanta is a real black hub, and so there's a lot of successful black people there. So they're not intimidated by other successful black people. But now when you get in a small city like Anderson, Marion, Muncie, Kokomo, when you get one black person that starts getting success, the other black people are getting uncomfortable about that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm feeling right now. It's like, man. So then my number one supporters end up being white people. Yeah. So it's like it's hard to try to navigate. You know what I mean? Like, why do we as black people do that? I don't know if you already want to say anything about that, but that's an issue that I'm seeing. It's like, man, we gotta learn how to build support and build each other up in these communities that are smaller.
I too went to a PWI. I went to Purdue. Okay. And that was a very interesting experience as well. I can remember so I studied turf science and management, which is in the School of Agriculture. If you know what turf science and management is, it's a study of grass, basically, essentially. And I wanted to do sports turf. But I can remember the day that Trump won his election. And I'm in the School of Agriculture. There's probably there's a handful of black people in the School of Agriculture. But I walk into my soils class, and I'm the only black person in the class, and I see all these white males with these red MAGA hats. Yeah. And the feeling that I had at that point in time, bro, I couldn't even describe to you in words.
Oh, you was on some what's the Ice Cube movie? A Higher Learning.
Yeah, Higher Learning. Yeah. Hey, man, it was bad. Mm-hmm. So I bring it up to ask you, gentlemen, especially because we're talking about entrepreneurship. One, do you need a college education to be an entrepreneur? And two, as black men that you guys are raising families and whatnot, should we be sending our kids to HBCUs versus PWIs or what? Because I think about that, but then I also think about the same thing you guys are saying, have that ability to be able to stand in any room. You know what I'm saying? Like us all going on PWIs, we were able to
And it
be
still
who we
works
are.
for us today.
It work for us today. So I feel like why would I say, obviously I want you to go to HBCU because it'll support the culture, but then too, you go to PWI, you're able to face some adversity that you're going to need later on in life. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I guess that's what I'm asking you. One, to be an entrepreneur, do you need a college education? And two, do you send your kid to a PWI or to a HBCU?
Yeah. So the short answer is no, you don't need a college education. I mean, only reason you need a college education if you're trying to work for somebody else. So for college, for me, only way college education or college in general has helped me is through connections.
Okay.
Like that piece of paper ain't really did. I mean, I got my majors in music. I don't even use it no more. You know what I'm saying? So it open doors as far as connections. And the second thing you asked was like, should you go to?
So you raising your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
If she chose to go to school, or you want to send her to school, do you send her to a PWI, or do you send her to a HBCU?
Man, that's tough, man. I wanna make myself and my family in a position to where she can do whatever she want to do, man.
Okay.
She can go to Harvard. She can go to anywhere. You know what I'm saying? She can be anywhere. She can choose not to go. Right. So I really want to create an environment to be so my daughter's mixed. Mm-hmm. So I want her to be able to understand who she is fully. You know what I mean? Both sides of this coin, which is a whole nother beast. Me and Damon said we can talk about that sometime too. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother beast. But
it is.
I really want my daughter and any other future kids that I have to be able to forge their own path and whatever they want to do. So I'm on the ground right now trying to make a path so they can do that. That's my answer. So
I would say I don't think a college degree is necessary to become an entrepreneur. I teach in a high school currently, and I encourage kids who are not ready for college, don't go. I got a girl right now that I love dearly. She graduated a couple years ago, and she took my advice. I said, "Listen, man, you're not even doing the work you got going on right now. Like, what you think about college?" My motto is this: college.
You told write the paper. The paper got to write you. You talk about the degree that you got to study for to get.
So I told her, I said, because I have my own personal experience. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I went to college immediately after high school, but I didn't graduate until like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I didn't graduate. I didn't get my degree until like 2 years ago, bro. Because. Well, so I fell in love, got married. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you blame my sister-in-law?
He tried to throw it off. This woman you gave me.
But no,
blame my sis.
So, but my motto is this: college is not for everybody at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's all.
And so, what I mean by that is, I was a better student after I got a dose of the real world.
Oh.
Yeah, so like what happened to me was I was working a job where I was like, man, this person that they got, a couple things happened. I got passed up on a couple of opportunities job wise because I didn't have that piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Good jobs too. Like it was one place, man. I did youth ministry, and it was one place that really wanted me. The staff wanted me, the kids wanted me, but in their bylaws or whatever, the person who held this chaplaincy position had to have a degree, and I didn't have one. The funny thing is, though, I interned for the entire summer, dang near. Like, I was the chaplain and everybody loved me, everybody wanted me, but because I didn't have that piece of paper, I couldn't do it. Then I started working a full-time job, and I just realized, like, yo, my boss, like, they really suck at this job, and I could do a way better job. But I would never be considered because I didn't have this piece of paper.
Right.
So part of me went back and got the piece of paper just so I could say, you have to consider me.
Stop skipping me.
Yeah, stop skipping me. Like I've been more qualified without this paper, but you're not even giving it a look because it's not even allowing me in the room. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't have it. So I would say that getting that piece of paper is important because it gets you in certain rooms. Even like you said, you went to Purdue, we went to Indiana Wesleyan. When you throw those names around here locally, those things, this is currency. And what I mean by this currency is because, you pull up somewhere and you see somebody with a Purdue shirt, that's a conversation starter.
Yes, sir.
You see somebody with an IWU, you know what I'm saying, hoodie, that's a conversation starter.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, well, me too. Oh, that's what's up. well, hey, listen, I got this going on, whatever, and boom, you know what I'm saying? That's social currency to some extent. So, I will say that having those collegiate experiences and then going to college, it definitely has its perks, but I do not recommend it for everybody because it's not for everybody at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but PWI or HBCU for you?
So...
And it's different for y'all because y'all got mixed kids.
We both have mixed kids.
So you really can't go wrong either way, it seemed like.
Well, so my thing is this, man. And this we don't have time to get into it. We don't, because we just don't. I want to tell my kids to like identify as a good person first. You know, identify as a child of God first.
Yeah.
So, child of God, good person. And then be aware of the fact that you come from a mixed biracial lineage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your mom is white, your dad is black. And I'm going to tell them straight up, use that to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, when you gotta be able to code switch, and when you are able to do so. And so what that means is, you know, my kids can go to a HBCU, and if they have, you know what I'm saying, you know, the swag that I know that they're gonna have, you know what I'm saying, they'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, navigate those waters.
Right.
They can go to a PWI and be able to navigate those waters. I will tell my kids, to answer your question directly, go where the best opportunities are.
Yeah.
I don't think that you need to go to a HBCU to understand your blackness. And, you know, I don't think that going to a PWI validates you any more than going to a HBCU. Right. So, you know, I would like to see, you know, more kids go to HBCUs. You know, I had one girl, I never heard of them before. She's a good student. In her senior year, she ended up deciding to go to Tennessee State, and she enjoyed it. She loved it. So I do think that there is you know, value in HBCUs for real. I got a few friends that have gone to HBCUs, and their experiences are dope from what I hear.
Right.
I would have loved to have gone to one. I just didn't understand the importance of it in high school, and I didn't make the grades to go either. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just, to be honest with you, I wasn't a good student in high school.
Sometimes I look and see the video, like, man, that look fun. HBCU.
Yeah. It was like classic or Black Expo every weekend. Hey, it was like Juneteenth all the time.
Right.
So yeah, man, I'm cool with that, man. I'm completely cool with that.
I wanted to go to one, but I got some money to go to Purdue, so I was like,
follow that bridge.
Yeah, man. That's the other thing, man. Like, who paying?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna ask that's what I'm gonna ask my kids. Who paying?
Who is paying?
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If the PWI is paying, then a PW high. You know what I'm saying? If the HBCU's paying, HBCU and me. You know what I mean? All that for sure. So that's my take, man. But hey, bro, man, thanks for coming, man.
Oh man, no, thanks for having me. Man. This is great, man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming, man, and just kicking it, and you know, this leaving the nuggets that you've left thus far, man.
Definitely drop some gems.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad, man. This is what it's all about for me, man. It's just like making sure that there's something that we know we can do.
Yeah.
It ain't just for any other race. It's something that we can own or something that we can do. And I want to push everybody I know to, like, you know, we can do this.
And that's the thing. I'm sorry. I know but that's the thing, man. Like, you don't really see us doing that too often. I mean, you go to almost any gas station and you're going to see a certain group of people. You
make it plain. Arabs, they own the gas station.
Yeah, Arabs. And then you look at these lawn care services. You got them. Mexicans got that sold up, or roofing. Mexicans got that sold up. I mean, and then you go to any almost bar or whatever. You got white people on that stuff. It's like, bro, we got these dope ideas. But we so much more than that. Like,
right? Yeah.
And my thing is like,
we don't only want to get haircuts like that too, though.
Yeah. True.
I gotta go next week.
Nah, man, we just so much more doper than that. Like we have the ideas that push the culture forward.
Right.
Like
We are the culture.
Yeah, you said it before. Like, if black people don't stamp it, it don't go nowhere.
It don't.
You know what I'm saying?
We
so
are the
it's
culture.
Just like, why we can't do that with business?
And the problem is, man, it's just where we're from, small city Indiana. We don't see it. Like, in Atlanta, bro, they killing all the black. I'm talking about people. I'm 27, dudes my age driving Lambos and Bentleys and like everyday life. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But around here, we don't see that. So what I'm trying to do is like take a little bit of stuff and I'm saying and bring it to these small cities and say, hey man, look, 13-year-old black kid. Yeah, you can do this, man. We all can do this. We can change. We can change this community.
Normalize black entrepreneurship, man.
Man, that's
probably what we're gonna call this one.
Yeah.
Normalize black entrepreneurship,
Sir.
man. Well, Ronny, man, thank you for coming, man, and kicking it with us, bro. Sure. We appreciate you. We're gonna definitely have you back. We got a couple more discussions we gotta have.
Man, the Monopoly game. That's what we.
The Monopoly game, yes. And then talk to your wife, man. See if she be down to come, and we'll do like a couples thing.
Okay, hey man.
I think that
see
could
if
be
I can get it on there, man.
Yeah,
so that'd be a big one. If I can pull that off, that'd be.
Well, make sure you let her see this one, man. Hey, listen, everybody out there in the world, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share this thing, man. Share this. I challenge you to share this with a young African American kid or a young kid, period, man. To who may have aspirations to have their own business, man, and be an entrepreneur, man. Please share this. And we're not dissing anybody who has a 9-to-5. That's not it, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
You know what I mean? But we also want you to understand that black people can do this too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so that's the focus, man. It's a goddamn podcast, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace.
I don't say peace when I say peace.
Bro, that's my tagline.
Don't do that.
No, but that's what I'm supposed to say.
All right.
He's still in the shine from you. He said, that's my show.
People want to do what I do. When I do it.